ordinary agnosticism is practically untenable. You see, the ordinary agnostic is in a position of doubt and maybe even bewilderment. He hears arguments for theism on the one hand, and maybe some of these arguments seem pretty convincing to him. On the other hand, he hears arguments for atheism, which in his mind have exactly the same weight as the arguments for theism. The arguments pro and con must be exactly equal in their weight, so that in the agnostic's mind, the scales in which the evidence is being weighed are absolutely balanced and do not tip one way or the other. Now, my argument is that such a position, while possible theoretically, is impossible practically. Though you might go through a temporary crisis of agnosticism, sooner or later as you go through life, the scales will tip in one direction or the other in your thinking. They don't need to tip decisively, as Dr. Hughes has said. To be an atheist, you don't need to be 100% positive that God does not exist. And to be a theist, you don't need to have absolute certainty that God exists. It's just on balance that one alternative seems more probable in your thinking than the other. Let me illustrate my point. My kids have a joke about what would happen if a rooster laid an egg on the peak of the barn roof. Which way would the egg roll? Well, the kids get out of that dilemma by pointing out that roosters don't lay eggs. But things aren't so easy for the agnostic. You see, the agnostic's philosophical egg has to stay balanced precisely on the peak of the roof, lest it roll to the one side, which is atheism, or to the other side, which is theism. And it has to do this balancing act throughout an entire lifetime. But that's just impossible, practically. Sooner or later, the probabilities will lean in one direction or the other in your thinking. And you'll either believe there probably is a God, or else there probably is no God. So the debate tonight really is, in the end, between theism and atheism. And you have to decide in your thinking which one is more probably true.